Okay, so now we're going to take this model-based definition file and make a drawing file from it. So File, New, and then Drawing. Now, that's not the best place to go there. I think we want to click New here because the drawing file we need is not this one. It needs to be this one over here, IDW instead of DWG. So that one right there, we're going to create that. And right away, we're going to change its paper size to B. So we're going to right-click on the sheet in the feature tree, model browser, and say Edit Sheet, and then right away select B. We'll put our information in there at the end, but for now, let's place our part. The base is going to always be in this class, it's going to be the front view over here. And you can see it defaulted to the front view, which is awesome. And that's a good reason for us to make sure that our view was matching this diagram here. And then if you click OK, I think the scale of 1 to 2 is going to be just fine. Then if you click on the area between the red outline and the part, you can move it around. The next thing you want to do is put the other views in place. And so this one you say projected, and you want the projected view of this one over here. You want to click to locate it, then right click to create it. All right, that's pretty good. Let's do another one. Projected view. And we're going to go from here up to here. Click to place, right click to create. And we need one more up in this area. I was worried that I didn't see hidden lines there, but this really has no hidden lines, but this one certainly does. All right, one more projected view from here up over to that spot right there. Left click to place, right click to create. We will leave this one in the non-wireframed, but each one of these you might have noticed by default is wireframed. Before we get too far along, let's go ahead and add the things we need over here. One of them is you put the name of the university there. We're going to use a font size of, I think, 0.2 for this one. Having trouble spelling today. There we go. And then make sure you select all the text and center it this way and center it that way as well. You notice it will respond accordingly here. So center vertically and horizontally. And then what we're going to do is just put 0.2 in there, click on this to make sure it looks good, and then say OK. We want to do it again for this area right down here for the title. And the title of this part is Corner Stop. And we're going to use the word design right after that, as the textbook does. Select all, center this way, and we're going to use 0.4 for this one, as long as it fits. Okay, just kind of barely fits. That'll be all right. Now, in order to get the drawing number down in here, we need to save the file. So let's go File, Save As, and we're just going to give it the same name, just like that. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. And so it should put it right down here. Part 8.2 is our drawing number. And this is the title of the parts. I think we got all this in place. By default, it puts drawn by in there, as well as the date in which it was drawn. The next thing we could do is go over here to each of these and pull the annotations forward from the model-based definition. So we want to say retrieve model annotations. And it looks a bit messy, but we're going to pull all of those in and clean it up after the fact. You can probably see that it's showing those 3 that I made a mistake on in the previous video. We'll see if we can find those. But let's keep going and just do retrieve model-based definitions, retrieve model annotations, rather. Okay, so this should be enough to make this part fully defined. We want to make sure it's nice and easy to read with no text overlapping with the part. So I guess we could say is pull this one out here and then this one off to the side. See, that's kind of the way to make it really nice and readable. This is defining the depth of the cut of the semicircle at the top. And this is defining, what is this defining here? Oh, it's actually defining the back, a part of the back cut back over there. So it's actually over here. And it's defining how far it is to right there. So that looks good. Let's go over here to the front view. That was the right view. Looks like I would get 100% on that one. If I wanted to move this down a little bit, I could do like this and it moves the whole thing down. So this base part really kind of controls the placement on the lower left-hand side. And you can't move this one up and down. You can only move it left and right. I like the 45 there. The 3 might be able to move a little closer. The 2.5, it could move out here or out here. Having it inside, it works for model-based definitions, but not so much for the front view. So we'll leave it like this. That's nice and clean. This is the one that looks kind of dirty up here. Uh, Moving this one around is probably the best choice. And this one out kind of beside it. This looks good here because we can't really put that in between. This one looks like it's placed well. This one's, I guess, the best we can really do because it's on the inside. It might be good to pull this one out to the left. And then what happened here was I did it 3 times by mistake, not realizing that it was putting it down in the depth of the part. So I guess we can just click on those and delete them and just save one of them like this. So that mess was just because I had made that mistake earlier. Let's line up these as best we can. And then take a good look at this one here and make sure we have everything. It might be good to use more of this space out here by moving this out here and then clicking here in the red area and then pulling it over that way, just to make it more symmetric, filling up the space. We don't want to go as far as to say 1-to-1 dimension. I'll do that right quick, but I don't think that that's going to help. Let's just see. We can go over here and say edit the view, and we can change this to 1-to-1. Now that is only going to change this one view, but see how much, oh, actually it changed all 3 of them. But you can see how much it goes over the border, so we don't want to do that. So it's good to try that out, but I think this is going to be our better choice as a 1-to-2 scale instead. Let's save this view and then make sure we print it using best fit. If we do this one, remember that it will crop your work down. So you do want the best fit instead. You're going to save it as a PDF file. And then you probably want to view it after the fact as well. This one's going to be part 8.2. I'm going to look in the directory where we have that. See if I can find that one. 8.2, and we'll make sure this looks golden. Everything looks clean and professional. No overlapping text. No lines exceeding the border. It's all good. So that's a good place to stop right there. Hope that one wasn't too painful. And I think you can now get the process pretty well understood about first making the solid model, then making the model-based definition, and then finally pulling from that model-based definition to create your front, top, and right views. All right, I'll see you in the next video.